Hello everybody, The Different Life here, bringing us a brand new Blast from the Past. Today we are talking about Heroics, which is broken down into two sub-archetypes, Heroic Challengers and Heroic Champions. These two decks, well, they go hand in hand, obviously, and are a very, very cool rank 4 based warrior deck. And you don't really see very many of that. I mean, like, the only other one that I can think of right off the top of my head is Terror Knight. And Terror Knight are obviously the better deck, but however, Heroics still have a lot of things going for them and are actually a pretty cool and good deck in my personal opinion. Granted, they could really benefit from some more support. So, without much further ado, let's get on with it, with starting off with the only tribute monster in the entire deck. Yes, this deck has a tribute monster for some reason, although I can't help but feel like that his level and typing are obviously all references to the previous deck that the guy who plays this deck in the anime, I think his name is Nistro, who he played Bouncers in his first appearance, and then he switches over to Heroics afterwards. And Bouncers, if you guys don't know, are all based, they're rank 6 warrior deck, and, well, level 6, obviously, also. And the first Heroic monster that we're going to talk about is the level 6 one, so kind of some sort of, like, I guess they were trying to encourage the two decks to work together. So, anyways, Heroic Challenger Warhammer. He's a light earth. He's a Earth Warrior. I don't know why his symbol up there is light, but whatever. He's 2100 attack, 1300 defense, level 6. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to graveyard, you can equip the destroyed monster to this card. You can only equip one monster at a time to this card by this effect, and this card gains attack equal to the equipped monster's attack power. Very interesting card. He's kind of like Relinquist or Destiny Hero Plasma, except he needs to kill the monster in battle to equip it onto him. And of course, like those other two monsters, he can only have one monster on him at once. He's pretty okay. If he was level 4 and did this exact same thing, and like maybe had like 200 less attack power, he'd be a bit better for the deck's theme, because this guy is 2 levels higher than the standard heroic monster. And so, he doesn't really fit with the deck's theme in general. Now, granted though, I do like this card in concept. I just wish he did more for the actual deck rather than just being a kind of like interesting thing. Next up is Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd. Level 4 Warrior Earth, 1800 attack, 200 defense. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can spell summon this card from your hand. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can add one heroic card from your deck to your hand. So, let's see here. Cyber Dragon, Piercing, and then Searcher, and it's not once per turn. This card is flat out amazing. Not only does it facilitate the XYZ plays for the deck, which is something that this deck desperately needed at the time when this card came out, but also it searches out the entire deck, spells, traps, monsters, whatever, and it does piercing, so it just makes it easier to get its effect off. This card is absolutely amazing, and if Konami were to print more cards for this deck and keep them up to the same caliber as this guy and the other card that were released with him, this deck could really have potential to do some really interesting mark on the meta. I don't know. This card was used for a while, and I believe Clownblade played it. Usually has like a 1-2 of, but however, they did end up dropping it just simply to play, what is it called? Photon Thrasher. Now, something else that's interesting is that this is one of the few searchers who can search out himself. So he can, well, search out another Assault Halberd with his own effect. Next card, Heroic Challenger Double Dance. Monster of Earth, Warrior effect, level 4, 1700 attack, 900 defense. When this card is normal summoned, you can spell summon a Heroic Challenger Double Dance from your hand or graveyard in face-up defense position. This card cannot be used as Synchro Material monster, and this card cannot be used as Xyz material, except for the Xyz summon of a warrior-type monster. So they put the no Synchro thing, because this was back when Konami was really trying to make it to where you cannot go for Synchro monsters, because, you know, they were pushing for Xyz monsters. And this guy is really good. He's one of your big playmakers for going into a rank 4, and is really good for the deck. The issue is that he only gets his effect on normal summon, and you have to summon out another copy of himself. Granted, you already want to play full Sparrow in this deck for a number of reasons, which we'll get to later. So this guy is really good because you can full Sparrow another copy, normal summon out one, special summon bring out, and then hey, you still have the third one for, you know, later on Xyz plays. But still, the whole, it has to summon another copy of it, and it has to be in defense too. That's really annoying. But oh well. Still, a really good card for making Xyz summons really easily. The other big downside that I forgot to mention until just now is that you have to go into a warrior type. But however, that doesn't really matter because you got a whole lot of warrior type monsters that you can easily make in this deck for Xyz summons and everything. And of course, I'm going to say this now, the heroic champions have a really good quality in general. Next up is Heroic Challenger Spartan. Level 4, 1600 attack, 1000 defense, warrior earth. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target one heroic monster you control, except this card. This card gains attack equal to that face-up monster's original attack until the end of the battle phase. So the idea is that, oh hey, your opponent attacks this guy, you use Spartan's effect, target another monster you control, he gains attack power equal to that monster's attack power. And so he's more of a defensive monster. The issue with this is that your opponent's going to read the card, not be an idiot, attack the other monster. Sure, you can use Spartan to, give him more attack power until the end of the battle phase. But, however, your opponent's not going to run into him. Yeah, sure, if you target another Spartan, that Spartan's going to jump up to, 3,200. Now, here's the really cool thing is that if you have multiple Spartans out, they can target each other. So then, like, oh, hey, Spartan can target one guy, the other Spartan can target the other one, and then, oh, hey, they both boost up to 36. Really, 32, I can't count. Really good card, but, however, it just doesn't do much for the actual deck other than, just protecting himself. Which, if he could protect your other heroics, like for instance, if he could give another heroic attack equal to his attack power, that would be really cool. But no, they don't do that. Oh well. Still a pretty good card overall, but I think he's only really worth playing as a one-of, and even then it's mostly because he's a heroic monster. Next up is Heroic Challenger Thousand Blades. I'm sure everybody knows about this guy, because this card was very obnoxious way back in Clown Blade format, but, well, for those who don't know, this guy is a level 4 Earth Warrior, 1300 attack, 1100 defense. Once per turn, if this card is in attack position, you can discard one heroic card. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except heroic monsters. Also, special summon one heroic monster from your deck, and if you do, change this card to defense position. When you take damage while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card in attack position. You can only use this effect of Heroic Challenger Thousand Blades once per turn. So this card does a lot for the deck that is really, really good. Firstly, you can just normal summon him, discard a heroic card, spell summon any other heroic, and then go for an Xyz play. Or you can summon out another copy of him, use that one's effect, summon out another copy, use that one's effect, summon out another copy, and hey, if you summoned a Assault Halberd before doing that, you now have 5 monsters on field, and that is really, really good. Granted, you have to completely and totally empty your hand, but considering the monster you usually make with those 5 monsters, which is of course Heroic Champion YgoAmino, this card is such a good facilitator for summoning that. Not to mention, this deck wants their monsters being in the graveyard, especially for, Double Lance and, hey, another copy of Thousand Blades and stuff, because Thousand Blades is a really, really good card. Really good. And if he's in the graveyard, you take effect damage or battle damage, just special summon him out onto the field. Really, really good card. Absolutely something the deck needed. Next up is Heroic Challenger Night Watchman, level 4, 1200 attack, 300 defense, warrior earth. If this card attacks a defense position monster your opponent controls, before damage calculation, you can destroy that monster. He's okay. He doesn't do anything for the deck and is just kind of there. I don't recommend playing him unless we get into a format where a lot of defense position monsters are common, but yeah, he's just not very good. Let's move on. Next up is Heroic Challenger Extra Sword. Extra Sword, he's a warrior, earth, level 4, 1000, 1000. An Xyz monster that was summoned using this card as Xyz material gains this effect. When it is Xyz summoned, it gains 1000 attack power. As you may have noticed, this deck is super, super aggro. Super aggro. And a lot of their cards focus on gaining attack power or being able to do something during the battle phase. This card combos really well with one of the, with actually almost every single one of the Xyz monsters in this archetype, because he is just that good. He makes your monsters 1,000 more higher, which honestly, if you look at the monsters for the deck, let's see here, 15, 2,000, 21, 25, that's not very high. Well, Kusanagi's kind of high, but however, Extra Sword makes it to where they are super high and then super powerful, and I just realized that a lot of people can make some really stupid jokes out of what I just said, but you get the point. It makes your monsters super powerful, so you can go for more OTKs, or just totally screw over what your opponent's doing. Next up is a personal favorite in this deck, Heroic Challenger Sword Shield. Warrior Earth, 0 attack, 2000 defense, and he's a level 4. During each player's turn, if you control a face-up heroic monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. For the rest of this turn, you take no battle damage, and heroic monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. This card is one of the single best cards in the deck because it is an archetypal hand trap that literally just is Waboku in hand trap form, and I love it. It's such a good card. As some of you guys who have been with my channel for a long time will probably know, Waboku is one of my favorite trap cards, and Sworded Shield is literally just Waboku in hand trap form. I love it. It's such a good card. Really, really good card for the deck. And also, you want him in the graveyard for one of the guys we're going to get to here in a minute. This card is just insanely good. I love it. It protects your monsters and everything. Next up is Heroic Challenger Clasp Sword. Level 1, 300 attack, 100 defense. When this card is special summoned by the effect of a Heroic Challenger monster, you can add one Heroic Challenger monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Heroic Challenger Clasp Sword once per turn. So he can search himself, which is interesting. But this guy, he really could have been better. If he got his effect off anytime he was special summoned, he'd be so much better. You would actually want to play 1-for-1 in the deck, and he would be a really good monster because you can special summon him, search out any other heroic monster. But no, he has to be summoned by a Heroic Challenger's effect in order to get the search. And there are only 2 heroic monsters that special summon a heroic monster, so that's not very great. I mean, you either have to summon out him of a Thousand Blade, which is what you don't want to do. You want to go for a rank 4, so you want to be able to summon out a level 4, or you want to summon him off of Ambush Soldier's effect, who we will get to here in a minute. And don't get me wrong, the Ambush Soldier effect is stupid good, but you still would much rather summon something else and not Clasp Sword. Yeah, this card really was a missed opportunity. He could have been a lot better. He could have helped out the deck a lot. But honestly, if you're going to play him as a one-of, and don't play him any higher than that, honestly. Next card, and the last monster for the main deck, is Heroic Challenger Ambush Soldier. Level 1, 0/0. During your standby phase, you contribute this card. Special summon up to 2 Heroic Challenger monsters from your hand and or graveyard except himself, or another copy of him. You can only use this effect of Heroic Challenger Ambush Soldier once per turn. And when you do, you can banish this card from your graveyard, make all Heroic Challenger monsters you currently control become level 1. So, obviously they were trying to push for some rank 1 plays, and that's because the deck kind of sort of does not really have a rank 1, that being Lionheart, who Nistro played in the anime. And, yeah, that's like all his level 1 thing is doing. But honestly, the best thing about this card is that he gets you any 2 heroics from your hand or graveyard during your standby phase. That means you have to normal summon this guy, wait a full turn, hope you don't get OTK'd, and then use this effect during your standby phase. This is where Sword Shield really comes in handy, because you can normal summon him, maybe set some back row. Your opponent goes into your opponent's turn, they think, oh, that's just a level 1 0/0, I can just kill it now. And then you'd be like, haha, Sword Shield. And then, have your back row like a Solemn Warning, Vanity's Emptiness, stuff like that. So, really good card in combination with Sword Shield, which you can then revive with Ambush Soldier, which is really good. But unless you have Sword Shield in your hand, Ambush Soldier's complete and total crap and is a dead draw. I mean, if you have like some other traps or something that can protect Sword Shield, then yeah, go ahead, do it. But however, for the most part, it just isn't that great. Honestly, I think he's a good 2-of, seeing as how Sword Shield is a 3-of in the deck, so that way you generally see them pretty often. And of course, you can set up that combo even more so with like Assault Halberd and stuff like that. Now then, for the one and only spell card for the deck that's currently out in TCG, OCG, Heroic Chance. Target 1 heroic monster you control. This turn, double its attack power, but it cannot attack your opponent directly. You can only activate 1 Heroic Chance per turn. This card, comboed with Excalibur, equals an easy OTK. I love it. It's a really good card. It is a very, very scary card. And yeah, it's a really, really good card overall. I can't stress that enough. Like, heck, you can make your Assault Halberd a 36, and he can attack, over piercing, and he does piercing, all that stuff. Really good card. I think this card's definitely a 2 to 3 of. I personally think a 3 of more so. In my experience, I liked it at 3, so I can see it more often and everything. Really, really good and scary card. Now then, the deck has 3 traps, and only 2 of them are really useful, and even then, you don't need either of them. So, Heroic Advance. When a face-up heroic monster you control is targeted for an attack, target another face-up heroic, level 4 lower heroic monster you control. Double its attack during this battle phase. Then switch the attack target to it and conduct damage calculation, but monsters cannot be destroyed by this battle. So, this basically does the same thing as Spartan, but redirects the attack to the monster. That gets the attack power doubled, and neither monster can be destroyed by that battle. This card is okay, but it's just not very great. I wish it could do a bit more, and I wish your opponent could, lose their monster in that battle, but hey, whatever. It's a pretty good defensive card, but honestly, I don't really think it's worth playing more than one of, if even that. Next up is Heroic Retribution Sword. Target one face-up heroic monster you control. Equip this card to that target. I don't get why this isn't just an equip card, but hey, whatever. All battle damage you take from battles involving the equipped monster is also inflicted to your opponent. After damage calculation, destroy any opponent's monster that battles the equipped monster. This card is okay. At best. It really is. It's good to get around monsters that can't be destroyed in battle or something, but that's about it. And really, it's not that great. It's okay. Like, if you really want to play it as a one-of. Don't play it higher than that. And then we get into the worst draw card in the game. And it's an archetypal draw card. For a deck that really could use the draws. But no. They had to take a card from the anime and actually print it with this stupid effect. So, Heroic Gift. If your opponent's life points are 2,000 or less, make their life points 8,000, and if you do, draw 2 cards. You can only activate 1 Heroic Gift per turn. Yes, you are saving your opponent from the brink of death to draw 2 cards, and putting them right back at the start. Yeah. What? So this card was used by Nistro in his duel against Yuma, because he wanted to, because basically they were in like this tournament where life points carried over from one duel to another, and Nistro had full life points, or I think he had full life points, he had something like that, and he, Yuma did not, he had like almost 0, and so Nistro was like, yeah, I'm going to give you your full life points, and I'm going to get to draw 2 cards, because I want a fair fight with you, and yeah, that's cool, that's really cool chivalry and stuff like that, but hey, you know what, this isn't a continuous duel where everybody keeps their life points. And heck, even then, nobody would use this card because it's just easy pickings. So, really, honestly, this card is trash. It is the worst draw card in the game. I really can't think of any reason to bother playing it except for as discard fodder for Thousand Blades. And even then, you got better cards to discard for that. This card is not good. It just is not. Don't ever think about playing this. Please don't. You're doing yourself a great disservice if you're playing it. First and foremost, you're probably never going to get the chance to activate it. And secondly, when you do, you're putting your opponent back to square one with their life points. And that's not something you want to do in a battle-oriented deck. It's just not a good card. Please, don't ever consider playing it. Unless there's something I don't know. Now, if it was your opponent gains life points until they have 8,000, then you could probably do some sort of burn shenanigans with like bad reactions to some mochi or something. But I don't ever see that happening. Now then, number 54, Lionheart. I'm not going to cover. I just put them here so that I could like point out that that was the whole reason why Ambush Soldier had the level 1 effect. So, covering the XCs, the actual archetypal XCs. First and foremost, we have number 86, Heroic Champion YgoAmino. This guy is kind of sort of win condition of the deck. 2 or more max level 5, level 4 warrior type monsters. He's level 4, 1500. Sorry, rank 4, 1500 by 1500. During each of your opponent's end phases, detach 1 Xyz material from this card. This card gains effects based on the number of Xyz materials attached to it. 1 or more cannot be destroyed by battle. 2 or more gains 1500 attack and defense. 3 or more unaffected by other card effects. 4 or more, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon monsters. 5, once per turn, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This card is stupid good, and this deck can easily summon out 2 of them, like with 5 materials. Granted, it also depends on if you have Soul Charge or not. But anyways, this card is stupid good, really powerful, and heck, you have a 3k beater, just looking at him on base value, without anything else, because he will gain the 1000 attack power from Extra Sword if you have an Extra Sword attached to him, so he will be at 4k. So you have a 3 to 4k beater, who, once per turn, can destroy all cards your opponent controls, makes your opponent not be able to normal summon or spell summon monsters, is completely and totally unaffected by other cards, and gains 1500 attack and defense, and can't be destroyed by battle. How do you deal with this? You can't kaiju over it, you can't dark hole it, you can't Regeki it, you can't do anything to it. Your opponent can't do crap to it so long as it has 4 or more materials. This card is so incredibly good. And heck, if you have 5 materials on it, your opponent cannot normal summon or special summon monsters. Lasts for 2 whole turns. That is usually enough to kill your opponent. And, oh yeah, but they can still normal set. Okay, cool, I summon Assault Halberd and attack over for piercing. And get to search out a card. It's such a good card. I love it. This is the epitome of what a boss monster, especially with this much investment into it, should be. And I love it. Next up, and probably the guy you're going to go into the most amount of times in this deck, Heroic Champion Excalibur. Level 4 2k by 2k, sorry, rank 4, not level 4. Warrior Light. 2 level 4 warrior type monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 2 exceeds materials from this card. This card gains, its attack power becomes double its original attack until your opponent's next end phase. Really, really good card. You don't really want to use Extra Sword to summon him because it doubles the original attack, and then after the attack boost, is over, it goes back down to 2,000, which is really obnoxious. But however, this card is really good. He jumps up to 4,000, and he can easily help out with any OTK. He can really finish off your opponent at just about anything. And if he attacks over anything, your opponent's going to take at least 1,000 or more damage. Really, really scary card. Even more so when you combine it with Heroic Chance, because then you can use his effect, double it, he becomes 4k, and then you use Heroic Chance and he becomes 8k. That can result into an OTK if your opponent already has taken a bit of damage, or if you have something else to finish off your opponent afterwards. Really, really, really good and scary card. Next up, Heroic Champion Gandiva. Level 4, rank 4, why do I keep saying it? Rank 4, 2100 by 1800. 2 level 4 warrior type monsters. Once per turn, when a level 4 or lower monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, you can detach 1 exceeds material from this card, destroy that special summon monster. So, it's 2100, so it's not the hardest thing to get over, but with Extra Sword, he becomes 31, which is scary, because now there's this, level 4, rank 4, 3100, who can just pop any special summon monster that's level 4 or lower that your opponent summons to their side of the field. That is scary, and I love it. And oh, by the way, if your opponent special summons multiple monsters with like Soul Charge or something, he nukes all of them, and it's great. This card is a really good card. Especially for this format where like everybody's summoning Momo Rats. Oh hey, summon your Momo Rat, I'm just gonna pop it. You know, don't get your plays and everything. And heck, if you have multiples out, it's even better. This card is a really good monster, and I like him a lot. Next up is Heroic Champion Kusanagi. Rank 4, cut myself. Warrior Earth 2500 by 2400. 3 level 4 monsters to go into. 3 level 4 warrior type monsters to go into. Once per turn during your first turn, when a trap card is activated, you can detach 1 exceeds material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Then this card gains 500 attack. So he can gain 1500 attack total from this effect, which puts him at 4k if I'm doing my math right. Yeah, 4k. Really powerful card. But one big issue. Why can he only negate traps? Why can't he negate spells or monster effects? I really wish this guy was basically Xian, but no, he can only negate traps. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, that's a really good effect because the traps are the bane of this deck's existence. But really, honestly, I would have liked to see him also be able to negate spells. Granted, though, I do like what he's able to do, but he's never really worth playing more than one of, and even then, you don't make him too often unless you're doing against a very back row heavy deck, or if you're doing against something that's like a stun deck, stuff like that. So he's okay. He just is okay. Now then, for the anime support that I really hope that we get to see, because some of these would be amazing. Heroic Call, normal spell, special summon 1 heroic challenger monster from your hand in face-up attack position. The effects of the special summon monster are negated. You cannot normal or special summon any other monsters the turn that you activate this card. If they were to print this card, I would really love to see that last line of text just erased. Because this card would be kind of just meh if you didn't have this, if it had that. And it would really not be worth playing. Now, if it's summoned from hand or grave, then that could be more forgivable for that effect. Because, of course, you can still protect that monster with good old Sword Shield. I think that if this card were to be printed, I would just love to see that last line of text erased. Next up is an equipped spell, Heroic Growth. Equip only to a warrior type monster while your opponent's while your life points are lower than your opponent's life points. The equipped monster's attack is doubled. While your life points are higher than your opponent's, the equipped monster's attack is halved. So this is just simply to further go for that OTK. And oh god, could you imagine using... Okay, so Excalibur effect, make him 4K. Heroic Chance, make him 8K. Equip Heroic Growth onto him, make him 16,000. That would be so stupid. I love it. Please, Konami, print this card exactly as is. Please, do it. I beg you, please. Oh my god, I want to be able to do that now. That's awesome. Even better if you could somehow give him piercing. Oh yeah, equip Fairy and Meteor Crush on him, just for more lulls. Now then, onto the traps. Heroic Chance. Change, not chance. Trap card, tribute one heroic monster to target one heroic monster in your graveyard, special summon it. It's okay, you can swap out like an Xyz that you burned all of its Xyz materials for, like for instance Excalibur, to summon out like something else or go for more plays. I like it, it's okay. I just kind of wish it was a spell, not a trap. But hey, as a trap you can like dodge targeting stuff or like the Trident and stuff like that. Heroic Guard, normal trap when you take battle damage, tribute one heroic challenger monster you control. Gain life points equal to its attack. This card's okay. It can get stuff into your graveyard and all that. I kind of like that, but the fact it has to be battle damage is just not good. So really, honestly, it's just not that great of a trap. Really, to be completely honest, I would just love seeing more stuff that is like on the same level as Assault Halberd, Thousand Blades, and YgoAmino, because that's what this deck really needs, is more super powerful cards, because like, it just needs more cards in general. It doesn't have very much. Now then, so what are my overall thoughts on this deck? I really like this deck. I think it's a good, casual, fun deck. Maybe you might be able to top out of locals every once in a while. Depends on like what your locals are playing and how you build it. Pretty fun deck. The biggest issue, obviously, is that it just doesn't have very much support. And the support it does have, there's not much good support. I mean, like, really, honestly, you could take out, good lord, like, all of this. And then, of course, the anime stuff is not very good, except for the equip spell. So, you only have, like, 7 cards to really work with this deck for the main deck. And then for the extra deck, like, you generally play 2 of this guy, 1 to 2 of this guy, 0 to 1 of this guy, and then like 1 to 2 of this guy. So really, honestly, it's a super flexible deck. And of course, you also have Blade Armor Ninja and other, you know, really good rank 4 Xyz and stuff that you can usually make. But however, it just doesn't have enough support to really be able to be a super strong, powerful deck. Now, that being said, though, you can easily still get some like cheeky wins in here and there with like Excalibur and stuff like that. And I really do like this deck. Also, and this is definitely going to be one of the few Xyz-oriented decks that are not going to be super hit by Link format, because they generally make only 1 to 2 Xyz monsters anyway, so like really you can just sit on your YgoAmino, you can sit on your Godiva, Excalibur can usually win you the game by himself, so you really don't have to really worry too much about Link format. Not to mention with Thousand Blades and stuff like that, you can probably easily get out a lot of monsters. Granted, though, Thousand Blades locks you into, you know, heroic monsters only, but hey, if we ever get a heroic Link monster, that'd be cool. So overall, I really do like this deck. It's a really fun, gimmicky, well, it's not too gimmicky, it's pretty straightforward. It's a really fun, low-tier, casual deck, and I really do like it quite a bit. And hey, the cards are all super cheap. I mean, except for like maybe Ultimate Excalibur. I think YgoAmino had still like $2 to $3. So the cards are super cheap. You can easily pick these up for like under $20 total, like everything. And I would recommend building it just as a fun little casual deck to play with friends and stuff. Also, Ultimate Godiva looks beautiful, by the way, just saying. So, guys, that's my thoughts and opinions on good old Heroics. What do you guys think that the deck needs to really be anything good? Do you like the deck? Do you hate it? Do you want to see it get more support? What's your general thoughts on it? Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later, and peace out.